What's up, YouTube? This is Truth DeviantZ here, and today I want to talk about why I think Jeffrey Epstein might be fake. Like, why the Jeffrey Epstein narrative may be exaggerated, and why it could be fake. And the reason why I made this video was because of the fact that the Epstein files just got released recently, and they were on hype for quite a while. But anyway, they got released recently. Everyone's making a hype about it, and I started reading it. I started reading about how much people were stressing out about it, and how people were saying like all these like dumb things about the Epstein files, and I got like kind of pissed off at it. So basically, I started to think that because, people were being so annoying about it on social media, that it was a psyop. Because I just felt like it was kind of a bandwagon, and because of that, I started thinking it was a psyop. Now, I got legit reasons for thinking that Jeffrey Epstein could be fake, that this story is fake and this narrative is fake, but just want to be honest about like I came up with this idea and why, because I don't feel like enough truth is honest about why they think things are psyops and why they think that things that are mainstream are psyops. Because the problem that truthers have, or the truth community has, like conspiracy people, conspiracy theorists, the problem that like these people have, and like we have, because I'm a truther, is the fact that they think that everything's like a psyop, everything that isn't like part of their niche community, everything they don't like or agree with, anything that's mainstream, any progress that is made towards the mainstream public, realizing that the world is ran by the Illuminati, by like satanic pedophiles that want to make a world government as a psyop. And it's like, I'm just kind of sick of it and stuff. But, and I feel like, I basically think this is a bad habit that we got. So that's kind of why I want to like go and be honest about why. But yeah, pretty much I was looking into it. I was looking into like how popularized it was and how obsessed people were getting over it and how like kind of dumb it was. And it kind of made me think that like this was bullshit. And I want to talk about why I think Jeffrey Epstein might be partially fake. Now, honestly, my views have changed like a little bit. They've kind of changed since like I wrote down these notes, which my video will be based off of. What has changed is that I think Jeffrey Epstein was legit. Like, I think it actually happened. Like, most of the things, I just think that the files are partially made up, and I think that they're connecting Jeffrey Epstein with things that he wasn't actually connected to. Like, basically, long story short, I think Jeffrey Epstein is someone who was working for the Illuminati, the power elite, and the American government, and politicians, and those kind of people, like the elites and the celebrities, the Hollywood industry, and all that kind of stuff. I think he was working for them, but I don't think he was the only one. I just think he was one of many. Like, I think he was part of a team. Basically, I think that there's multiple Epstein's Islands, like multiple facilities where little children are taken and they're tortured and they're molested, sexually assaulted, and all that kind of stuff. And these satanic pedophiles, they employ people to get children to like kind of go there. Like, I kind of think of it as like, imagine like a strip club. Imagine a strip club. Like, imagine like, let's say there's a company that owns a whole bunch of strip clubs all around America, and you got one guy running the strip club, but he gets people to get strippers and stuff, right? Like, you get like a pimp, you got prostitutes, you got a strip club, you got a guy who runs a strip club, then you get like a guy who gets the bouncers and the strippers. Then you get the people who come there, right? The people who come there are kind of the ones that want the strip club to be open, but you got to get someone to find strippers. Well, pretty much, Jeffrey Epstein would be the guy who owns a strip club, and his strippers will be his children, and all these bodyguards / pimps for these prostitutes would be like kind of the other people he's working with. Basically, I think that Jeffrey Epstein was working in a team of people who run these pedophile resorts, of pedophile finders, to find pedophiles, and it kind of seems like, I feel like he actually like advertised this as a job to like for people, and he basically used deceit and trickery to get his children. Like, I don't think he abducted all of them. Basically, I think he also deceived them. But I think it's a team, and I pretty much think that he was part of a team to abduct children at Rummel's Resort, which is like part of this. Like, I don't think that Jeffrey Epstein Island is the only one. Like, logically, it can't be the only one if it's such a big operation, because there are people from the UK that worked there and America. So this can't be the only one, and it's in the Caribbean, which isn't even part of the USA. Like, I think Little St. James is actually part of the USA, like US territory, but it's still really far away from anywhere. So, yeah, that's pretty much what I think is going on. So I think that the idea that Jeffrey Epstein's the only one and that he's the biggest one, it's kind of bullshit. He's not the biggest one whatsoever. Like he can't be the biggest one. He's just the only one we know about, for sure. Jeffrey Epstein stuff is an extension of what was happening in Bohemian Grove and satanic ritual abuse, MKUltra, Project Monarch, Freemasonic abuse, Catholic Church abuse, and all that kind of stuff, right? Like, pretty much the truth community exposed Bohemian Grove, Illuminati, and this is an extension of it. This is just more proof that, you know, we're right about this stuff, man. And pretty much, if you really want to look into something that's the real deal, like if you want to look at something that doesn't have all this news hype surrounding it, search up Donald Marshall. Search up Donald Marshall plus satanic ritual abuse, Project Monarch, MKUltra, sex kittens, beta kittens, and stuff like that, man. Like, when I edit this video, I'm gonna like write it down, or just write it down in the comments, or like the pin description if I can't be bothered writing it like when I'm editing the video, because that stuff takes ages. Like, it takes a really long time. Now that I've gone to what I think Jeffrey Epstein actually is, like, he's basically just an operative working for these people, and he just got exposed. I'm going to talk about quickly why I think they killed him, why I think he died. There's two possible reasons, in my opinion, why he died, because he apparently killed himself, which I don't think he did. I just think they killed him. But obviously, since he doesn't seem like he's a good person, there got to be another reason why they killed him. Because why would the Illuminati kill somebody who is like just as evil and perverted and sick and messed up as them? The reason why I think he got killed, he didn't kill himself, was because he pretty much said that if they killed him, he'd release the pedophile files. Well, if you kill yourself, why would you have something that releases files that expose people if you kill yourself? Why didn't you just expose them yourself? If I had evidence that there were a bunch of pedophiles and elites within the police and the Freemason Illuminati, I'm not going to kill myself just to have the files released, because what if someone wipes them or snags them? What if something goes wrong? Like, I'm not going to be able to stick around to see if it comes out if I kill myself, right? If I just commit suicide. So if I died because of something related, that's probably because someone else killed me, right? Same with Jeffrey Epstein. That's why I think they killed him. Here's two possible reasons why the Illuminati, the Freemasons, they killed Jeffrey Epstein. And it depends on what they wanted to accomplish. First one is they killed him as a job promotion. That doesn't make sense, but I'll explain in a few minutes. Now, the second one is that they killed him because they didn't want him to release these files, and they wanted to, like, get this guy out of here. First possible reason is they promoted him. Now, if you look into Illuminati, these conspiracies, something that it seems like a lot of the events we see on TV are scripted and they're fake, and basically it's all made up. On TV, they say one thing, they say they don't like, these like celebrities, politicians, same thing. They say they don't like each other, but behind closed doors, when the cameras turn off, they actually get on with each other. It's like a play, right? You got the hero, you got the villain. They pretend they don't like each other as a play, but like behind the scenes, behind the curtains and stuff, they're actually like getting on, they're sharing a drink, they're hanging out. If it's a male and a female, who knows? They might be hooking up, they might be having sex. But that's the same thing that happens, right? Lots of things that say the transgenders expose themselves, and basically there's this idea that they die and stuff. They play one role as one celebrity, and then they cloned, or they're commissioned to play someone else. For example, there's this idea that Donald Trump is a clone of Elvis, or that the guy who acted as Elvis in the past is Donald Trump now. There's also an idea of Donald Trump secretly female alongside other celebrities. I don't got time to go into it, but basically the idea is that when a celebrity dies, they just secretly go somewhere else. Like, if you think about the Tupac, Michael Jackson, Elvis are secretly alive conspiracy ideas, well, there's an idea that Jeffrey Epstein is still alive, and he's in Israel. Like, you know, Israel is where like all the Khazars, the fake Jews, the Rothschilds, and their Zionist friends who are bankers, who are of the Jewish faith, who they settled and colonized Palestine, resides, and that's like a place for the elites, so it's founded by Rothschild, so a good place for Illuminati to hang out. By the way, for the stuff I can't see on YouTube about the JUWs, like what role they have on this, I think that's part of the reason why Jeffrey Epstein was into this, and why he is still alive, if he's still alive. So, you know, basically there's evidence that he's in Israel, and honestly, I believe it, because I saw the photos of like this Jeffrey Epstein looking dude with a beard. He looks just like Jeffrey Epstein. Like these other ones of like Tupac, Michael Jackson, Elvis, they don't really look as much like the original celebrities as this Jeffrey Epstein one does. So I kind of think he's still alive. And, you know, if he's still alive, then that means they killed him for promotion. Basically, Jeffrey Epstein had a job to perform. He just wanted to get away from responsibilities. And Illuminati's like, okay, cool. If you do what we want, we're going to kill you. And you just get to be, you just get to retire, man. Because, you know, Jeffrey Epstein had an operative job and he was a public figure, even though he wasn't famous, like he was known to people. But the thing is, right, you can be like famous, public, you can be rich as you want, but if people know you're alive, know who you are, you're never going to get the amount of privacy and luxury that you want. But if you're rich and you fake your death, you could do whatever you want, plus having nobody know about you, no responsibilities, no accountability. So killing somebody or like faking their death, that's just a way to promote somebody. If the Illuminati want it, man, and basically they think backwards. So basically a death to us means being demoted, right? A death to us is a negative thing, but a death to them is a positive thing. So this guy dies, oh, okay, he got a better life. So I think it's possible that the Illuminati, they killed Jeffrey Epstein as a way to promote him, to mean he's higher in the fold. When you become a Freemason, you symbolically like die and become a new person. You become that Freemason. And Jeffrey Epstein, well, he symbolically died in a way, in that kind of way. He probably didn't like get an official Freemason ceremony, but he did die in a way. The second possible reason why they die is because he knew too much and he was going to expose him and he was going to like fuck up the operation. Now, what people don't realize about the Illuminati and the Freemasons is although they work together, they don't necessarily get along. And the best way you can look at this, is Star Wars. Like Star Wars, like by George Lucas with Anakin Skywalker, Obi-Wan Kenobi. If you know what the Sith are, which is Emperor Palpatine and Darth Vader, they're pretty much just like organization of like black magic users that really run society. They create an authoritarian government, right? And that oppresses people, and a bunch of spiritual people who are off the grid and disliked by society fight against his empire while hiding behind a political organization that is fighting against him. Like, doesn't that sound just like what happens with like truthers, like Christians, like New Age people, and the Illuminati and the Freemasons? Like it's the exact same thing. If you look into Star Wars, that's about the Illuminati and the Freemasons. I figured that out when I was super young. So to get to the point, Sith, right, they're a self-destructive organization. They fight each other because what they want is they want power, they want control, they want the ability to do whatever you want and to use it and abuse someone however you want. Like however they want, I mean. And pretty much like they do that, and due to that, the Sith Order often like has lots of infighting. If you look into expanded universe, like the video games and the comics, the novels of Star Wars, like pretty much the Sith, they fight each other. They had like these empires in the past, and they pretty much collapsed because like they like. But anyway, I just wanted to like continue the video by like talking about Sith Lords. So pretty much back to where I was going off on. Pretty much when you in Star Wars, when there's like two Sith Lords fighting against each other, if there's like one Sith Lord who's got like a large piece of territory and like another Sith Lord who's got like another like piece of territory, they're gonna start fighting against each other because they want to have power, even if it like destroys the stability of the organization in general. Because it's like pretty much the way a Sith Lord thinks is that they want individual power for themselves. They want complete control over people. They want to be able to use and abuse people how they want and stuff like that. And in general, you know, that's why the Illuminati and the Freemasons, they want to do what they want to do. That's why at the top, they can do whatever they want. They can have sex parties and molest children, abuse children, and shit like that, but why they want to create an authoritarian world government. Basically, they want rules for us, but they don't want to have any rules for them, because they want to have complete power. They want to have the power to use and abuse us however they want. So that's why. But pretty much the like Sith and stuff, they fight against each other even if it's self-destructive and even if it fucks up their plans long term. So basically, because of that, because the Sith were infighting so much, the Sith called Darth Bane, he eliminated all the Sith and stuff, and he basically created like a rule of two, where it's like only two Sith were allowed to be around, so that like they could like kind of control the self-destructive nature. So pretty much, what I got to say about that is that the reason why Jeffrey Epstein died was really to stop the plan for being fucked up. Because basically what I think was going on with Jeffrey Epstein was that he was a pedophile. He wanted to have more power within this organization. So he decided to get blackmailed lots and lots and lots and lots of celebrities and stuff like that. And pretty much he was like, yo man, if you guys don't do what I want, I'm going to release these goddamn files. And, you know, the Illuminati were like, oh shit, we can't like let that happen, man. Because if that happens, then our plans are going to get fucked up and people are going to turn against us. They're going to stop paying taxes and all that stuff. So, pretty much, I think they killed him. And I think that's why he died. That's the possible reason why he died. Now, you know, the reason why I said there were two reasons, why I stated there were like two reasons and stuff, was because the reason why he died depends on what the Illuminati wanted to accomplish and if they wanted the files to be released. Because there's a possible chance they want the files to be released for some reason. Like, it's kind of like, it's weird. It's kind of weird that they would want the files to be released, but there is kind of like a reason why they might want the files released. You know, like, I don't know why they would want the files released, but it's not impossible they want the files released for some reason. You know, like, and if they wanted the files released, then they have to like fake someone's death and to really like end up killing somebody, man. So, like, if they wanted it, then I think they killed him to promote him. Basically, like, you got to do this job, take the die for us, and we'll promote you. And if they didn't want the files released, which I don't think they really wanted the original files released back when Jeffrey Epstein was first talked about, I think that they killed him because of that. So it really depends on the motivation and stuff. Now, why do I think that the U.S. government is so focused on the Epstein files right now? Basically, for all intents and purposes, aside from the media hype, the actual files, the actual reason I think they released them is for damage control. Basically, they realized, I guess they thought that Jeffrey Epstein files being released, or like Jeffrey Epstein being known about, was kind of like so much of a threat to them, so much of a threat to their power and their stability, that they were like, okay, you know, this people know about this, but it ain't over yet. We can control this. So they basically just release the files for that reason. Now, also I think another reason is to basically make us like feel like Donald Trump's in control. Like, you know, like he's in control, right? You know, like he's like fighting against these people. And to promote this whole QAnon Trump delusion, you know, this like cult of personality. Because, you know, what Donald Trump and Obama both are, they're cults of personality. You know, basically, when you see somebody idolizing a politician or political party, or like a politician of a political party, that's basically a cult of personality. You know, basically what it means is that someone's got such a charismatic personality, or they represent like such a significant, fundamental like idea that is important to people, or they like fulfill a hope or desire of someone so much that they begin to basically worship like and idolize these people. And because like our society's not as religious, like anymore and stuff, basically instead of like people like, I don't know, Buddha, Krishna, Jesus, God, whatever, Allah, we worship figures like Donald Trump, Hillary Clinton, Jacinda Ardern, Obama. Like, we basically see them as messianic figures who's going to save us from our problems and stuff when they don't, right? So pretty much, Donald Trump's a cult of personality, and I kind of think that's the main reason they want to promote the Epstein files so damn much. I don't think it's because, they want to make a fake truth movement or anything like that. I don't think it's because they want to harvest off energy or stress us out, although that's a big one. I think they really do want to make society chaotic. I basically think they just want to do this to cause, more division in American and Western society, and I think that they want to increase the Trump cult of personality and the division over Donald Trump, since there's evidence that Donald Trump, he was in the Epstein files, and there's some Trump people who say he wasn't in the Epstein files and stuff like that, and to cause division. And also another explanation that I got from my friend about why P. Diddy is being exposed, or why all these pedos and stuff are being exposed, is to make people okay with pedophilia and to basically normalize / desensitize them to all this kind of stuff, which could be another reason. So yeah, that's basically a nutshell why I think it is. This wasn't really a video on why I think Jeffrey Epstein was fake. This is just a video on why I think he was killed. So I guess in the next video you're gonna actually for real see why I think Jeffrey Epstein's narrative is kind of fake and why it's bullshit and stuff. So yeah, I'll see you in the next video. I'm TruthDVNZ. I'm out. Peace. I just want to add a quick postscript. A postscript is after the video. It's basically an epilogue. It's in a book and stuff. It's basically an epilogue, ending part, small ending. Basically, I just want to say quickly that Donald Trump used to be a Democrat. He used to be independent. He actually tried to run for president before he ran in 2016. And he used to be part of the Democratic Party, which the Americans call the Democrats. I call the Democratic Party because I don't like abbreviations. I don't like the fact they call them Democrats. That kind of dumbs it down for people, so I don't like it. And pretty much Donald Trump used to be a Democrat.